我们再来看一篇天文学的文章。
Listen to part of a lecture in an astronomy class. You will not need to remember the numbers the professor mentions.
Okay, let's get going. Today I'm going to talk about how the asteroid belt was discovered. And I'm going to start by writing some numbers on the board. Here they are. We'll start with 0, then 3, 6, 12. Tell me what I'm doing.
Multiplying by 2?
Right. I'm doubling the numbers, so 2 times 12 is 24, and the next one I'm going to write after 24 would be
48.
48. Then 96. We'll stop there for now. Now I'll write another row of numbers under that. Tell me what I'm doing. 4, 7, 10. How am I getting this second row?
Adding 4 to the numbers in the first row.
I'm adding 4 to each number in the first row to give you a second row. So the last two will be 52, 100, and now tell me what I'm doing.
Putting in a decimal?
Yes, I divided all those numbers by 10 by putting in a decimal point. Now I'm going to write the names of the planets under the numbers. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. So what do the numbers mean? Do you remember from the reading?
Is it the distance of the planets from the sun?
Right, in astronomical units. Not perfect, but tantalizingly close. The value for Mars is off by 6 or 7% or so. But it's within 10% of the average distance to Mars from the sun. But I kind of have to skip the one after Mars for now. Then Jupiter's right there at 5 point something, and then Saturn is about 10 astronomical units from the sun. Well, this pattern is known as Bode's law. It isn't really a scientific law, not in the sense of predicting gravitation mathematically or something, but it's attempting a pattern in the spacing of the planets, and it was noticed by Bode hundreds of years ago. Well, you can imagine that there was some interest in why the 2.8 spot in the pattern was skipped. But there wasn't anything obvious there in the early telescopes. Then, what happened in the late 1700s? The discovery of...
Another planet?
The next planet out, Uranus, after Saturn. And look, Uranus fits in the next spot in the pattern pretty nicely. Not perfectly, but close. And so then people got really excited about the validity of this thing and finding the missing object between Mars and Jupiter. And telescopes, remember, were getting better. So people went to work on finding objects that would be at that missing distance from the sun. And then in 1801, the object Ceres was discovered. And Ceres was in the right place, the missing spot. But it was way too faint to be a planet. It looked like a little star. And because of its star-like appearance, it was called an asteroid. Okay? Aster is Greek for star, as in astronomy. And so Ceres was the first and is the largest of what became many objects discovered at that same distance. Not just one thing, but all the objects found at that distance form the asteroid belt. So the asteroid belt is the most famous success of this Bode's law. That's how the asteroid belt was discovered.
在托福考试当中，天文学的文章出现的时候呢，往往是考题难度较大的时候。不过我们这里听到的这篇文章的话，相对来说比较例外。它其中的话涉及到的应该是一个比较简单的知识点，同时的话呢，文章的语言的难度也不是特别大，文章长度也不是特别长。那这篇文章呢，主要讨论的就是 asteroid belt 小行星带的问题。什么叫做小行星带，对吧？那这里大家看到的这个的话，其实就是一个小行星带。然后的话呢，其中有提到有一颗小行星叫做 Ceres， 那 Ceres 大概在哪里呢？这里是地球，那这里是月球，中间这个小点的话就是 Ceres， 对吧？所以有很多颗类似于 Ceres 的小行星组合在一起，就形成了一个小行星带。 对吧？好，那么这是这样的一篇文章。那下面我们来看一下第一题。What is Bo's law？ 对吧？其中提到了这样一个法则，叫做 Bo's law， 这是个什么东西？这篇文章和其他考题的这样一个区别就在于，咱们一般来说，第一道题一定是主旨题，可是这里的第一道题似乎有点细节。但怎么说呢？不论出题这个题干方式怎么问，第一题考察的一定是和主旨相关的内容，对吧？就它有可能是以一种比较细节的方式把它展示出来，但咱们需要了解的就是细节和主旨之间其实并不冲突，并不违背，对吧？所以我们也可以从主旨的角度来考虑这样一个问题。那么这个就涉及到文章的主旨到底是如何引出的问题了。那么在这篇文章当中呢，咱们前面听到的就是一系列数字，教授一直在讲一些加法呀，然后呀除法呀，什么加小数点呀等等之类。在那些话完了之后，听到这句话 ，This pattern is known as Bo's law，Bo's law 出来了，对吧？然后说对它的定义 ，It isn't really scientific law, not in the sense of predicting gravitation mathematically. 首先说它不是什么东西，那它又是什么东西呢？But it's attempting a pattern in the spacing of the planets， 对吧？所以它是 the pattern in the spacing of the planets, and it was noticed by Bode hundreds of years ago. 所以的话，正确答案对应上了 D 选项 ，a pattern in the spacing of the planets， 它是行星之间的距离的模式，对吧？这就是 Bo's law， 对吧？好，那么也就是我们讲的这个 something is not is， 对吧？还是这种概念，大家要能够听清楚。那第二题 ，Why does Professor explain Bo's law to the class？为什么教授会跟大家讲解关于 Bo's law 的问题？这就是文章的一个其实真正的主旨的判断了，对吧？那到底应该选择哪一个呢？那由于这篇文章当中那一段数字的描述占据了太多时间，所以大家可能已经遗忘掉文章是怎么就是在数字出现之前的信息。实际上在数字出现之前，老师说的这么一句话 ：“Okay, let's get going. Today I'm going to talk about how the asteroid belt was discovered。”我要讨论的是小行星带是怎么被发现的，然后有数字，然后有 Bo's law。所以回到这道题来，当然应该选择的就是 B 选项了，也是原文当中的语言，对吧？准确的语言性对应，对吧？然后问你说 How does the professor introduce Bo's law？ 教授是如何引出 Bo's law 的呢？那么多数字，听到数字当然要选择数字，所以这道题应该选择的就是 A 选项，对吧？来通过描述它是如何被发现的，对吧？那这一点就能够把它准确的表达出来了，对吧？好，这是这样一道题目。那么 B、C、D 选项的话呢，因为还没有到这里来，位置还不对，所以不能够进行选择。然后下面一道题目。问题问的是 According to the professor, what two factors contributed to the discovery of the asteroid series？ 那么这里的话呢，就是对于原因细节的一个提问。怎么说？原因细节在文章当中的话，其实未必会有因果信号词出现，它往往就是一个描述的过程，而要把握住描述的过程，它的语言规律到底是怎么样的？咱们听到什么样的描述？就这样一段描述。And look, yours fits in the next spot in the pattern pretty nicely. Not perfectly, but close. And so then people got really excited about the validity of this thing and finding the missing object between Mars and Jupiter, 对吧？所以在这一部分的话呢，咱们听到的细节就是 Uranus， 这就是文章当中的一个细节的对应，对吧？所以原因细节。好 ，Uranus 有听到了，然后中间提到这些，然后后面说 ，and telescopes remember were getting better， 对吧 ？Were getting better， 这里咱们还有听到有一个语气的强调 ，were getting better and telescopes。所以像原因细节这种的话，咱们通常对应的就是咱们语言当中我们前面跟大家讲过的节奏，有一个信号词或者有个信号句，然后引出第一个论点，第一个原因点是比较重要的，然后一些不重要的点，然后又是一个重点，而往往被我们遗漏的就是后面这样一个重点。所以像 这道题对应的4个选项当中 ，D 选项一般大家是选得出来的，选不出来的一般是什么呢？一般是 A 选项这种选项，对吧？那现在大家应该明白它是如何去进行引出的了，对吧？好，那么这是这道题，然后再看下面这道题。What does the professor imply about the asteroid belt？ 那么对于这个教授到底有什么潜在的含义，有什么说法呢？4个选项。It is farther from the sun than Uranus. Both believe it was made up of small stars. It is located where people expect to find a planet in it. 以及 D 选项 Ceres is the only one of the asteroids that can be seen without a telescope. 对吧？那这道题要做，就要回到原文中的主旨。所以他提到是 Ceres was the first and is the largest of what became many objects, not just one thing, but all the objects. So the asteroid belt is the most famous success of the Bohr's law， 对吧？所以 that's how the asteroid belt was discovered。又回到了前面的那个问题，因此正确答案应该选择 C 选项。也就是说，科学家通过这些规律发现了这些颗行星，然后的话呢，科学家就期待在2.8那个地方再发现一颗行星，但最后发现的这颗行星体积和质量都不到发现这颗星球体积和质量都不到行星的级别，所以只能将其命名为 asteroid 小行星。那因为后来在附近又发现了无数颗类似的星球组成了一个带状，所以命名为小行星带。所以违背科学规律的一个现象。It is located where people expect to find a planet， 对吧？好，那么这是这样一道题目。然后最后一题。
Listen again to part of the lecture, then answer the question.
Well, this pattern is known as Bode's law. It isn't really a scientific law, not in the sense of predicting gravitation mathematically or something, but it's attempting a pattern in the spacing of the planets, and it was noticed by Bode hundreds of years ago.
Why does the professor say this？ 这么一段话，对吧？所以如果要选择 A 选项的话呢 ，introduce 呢，你可能会听到说 to begin with； 选择 B 选项你会听到 for example， 对吧？然后 C 选项是有一定干扰性的，但最终我们应该选择的是 D 选项，因为我们听到的是 It's really a scientific law, not in the sense of predicting gravitation, not in the it isn't really a scientific law， 对吧？因此对应上 D 选项，对吧？好，那么这是这样一篇文章了，谢谢大家的努力。